Good morning. This is Dr. Michael Datcher, and welcome to the 445 Productive Through Joy show with your host and your boy, Dr. Michael Datcher. Today, we're talking about gratitude and productivity. What is the connection between gratitude and enhancing one's level of productivity? A super important and dynamic technology to really enhance one's life. So, thanks for being here. If you are new to the show, you can go to productivethroughjoy.com to see about us. We speak to groups, schools, and organizations about being productive through joy. And we have a very innovative narrative based approach, which is our way of saying that everyone's life has told a story up until this point. Everyone's life is currently telling a story, and everyone's life will eventually tell a story when it's all said and done. We help people look through and excavate their particular life, their past, present, and hopefully their aspirational future, and help them really think about and put into action the type of life they want to lead, the type of story they want their life to tell moving forward. So, super innovative, very powerful. You can go check us out there. You can simply also just become a subscriber here uh, on YouTube's Michael Datcher channel and get all these videos for free. I did say free. One, two, and holla at us. All right. I should also say a few words about myself for those of you who, again, are new to the show. This is your host and your boy, Dr. Michael Datcher, author of the New York Times bestseller Raising Fences, which was a Today Show Book of the Month pick, author of the acclaimed historical novel Americus, which just came out in October. Um, that book is set 13 miles from Ferguson and interrogates the intersection of race and violence in America by telling the story of identical twin sons, Asar and Sed. Really powerful book. Um, that book just came out in October. Which examines again the relationship between race, family, and violence in the American family. Also, the author of the spanking brand new book as of April this year, Animating Black and Brown Liberation, a theory of American literatures, uh, which looks at the intersection between literature and activism. Can imagined narratives, can fiction, for example, teach us something about real world activism, provide maybe best practices? I argue that it can. Um, I'm also the board president of the World Stage, a literary and jazz venue here in California. My educational background is UC Berkeley as an undergrad, my master's from UCLA, and my PhD as in English literature from the University of California at Riverside. Guys, I'm an expert at being productive, all right? I don't say that to brag or boast, but people are oftentimes surprised at my level of productivity when they hear about my crazy story. I am the product of a young girl who was in terrible situation, violated at age 16, gave birth to me at age 17, and subsequently gave me up for adoption to really an amazing single divorcee. Yet at the time, no biological father, no adopted father. Listen, difficult times for the young MD. Yet, as Cool Mo D famously said, "How you like me now?" And if I can be this productive and productive, whatever that word means, through joy, I am arguing in particular, personally, that so can many other people. And that really inspires me, personally inspires this business for sure. So thanks for being here. Because it ain't where you're from, it's where you're about to go. So today we're talking about gratitude and how it may impact one's level of productivity. So let's dive into the topic starting right now. So point one is that you want to have what we call a gratitude practice. I just talked to my friend Jan Williamson, who runs the great 18th Street Art Center here in California. And Jan's a Buddhist, and Jan taught me a lot about just gratitude, about how in the Buddhist faith that's such a major part of their tradition. So I do like to always credit Jan for this knowledge that she dropped on me, and it's true. It's people can tell you things, but when you sit in their lives, when you see people living it out, it really impacts you. And Jan Williamson, let me just name drop her again. Bam! Look up the 18th Street Art Complex. Check for her. She's amazing. Her organization is amazing. They are doing inspirational work there. Uh, and her life is about gratitude. So, from her, I learned the power of having what I think the Buddhists also call a gratitude lifestyle. Some call it an attitude of gratitude. Whatever, you find your own nomenclature to think about it and to speak on it. But what that means is practically is living a life of gratitude, being in the spirit of thanksgiving, identifying things around you, being able to see, being able to hear, but being in the habit, being in the practice of identifying the things in your life right now, even when other things may not be going your way. Woo! But being able to identify what you can identify uh, as being a thing to be grateful for right now. That's point one. Well, how do you do that? This is point two. Well, in our experience, and Mike, let me also speak about my own personal experience, but also working with other clients. You want to make it practical. So if you know my show, you know I work out, I run, and do all these things in the early part of my morning, part of my day. And so during my run, for example, I think about the things that I'm grateful for. I live here in Venice, so I'm able to see the ocean every day. So when I'm out, I'm grateful for being and living in nature and being able to see and hear and smell from my daughters. So throughout my day, and not always as much as I would like to, but definitely throughout my day, to at a certain extent, I am thinking about what I am grateful for. All right. And you don't have to, but we encourage people to be in the habit of just speaking, uh, acknowledging what you're grateful for. That simple thing is not easy because it takes being mindful. Because as we all know, when life is happening, you're like, "Oh, I got to do this, I have to do that." I'm taking these kids to camp because it's summer. I'm going camping. Things we're doing right now, as daddy, it can be a challenge, right? For sure. Um, but that's the challenge is being able to do it when you're busy and make that your lifestyle, which goes right into point three. As you begin to live an attitude of gratitude, to be in this gratitude lifestyle, your joy level and as a result, your energy level, the releasing of your endorphins is going to uptick. Like I've been really tired lately. I'm not, I think I had maybe a little flu. Something was a flu virus. Virus was definitely in my system the last 4 or 5 days, and I've really been tired, you know. And my lifestyle takes a lot of energy, and I've been still, of course, doing what I do, but it's been a lot more difficult. If you've ever been sick, had the flu, had a virus, and tried to work, I mean, you get almost you can almost hallucinate when you have a virus. You're so out of it. Well, I've had this thing for the last 4, maybe 5 days, and it has been rough, right? So now I feel better today. Hopefully it's passed completely. Um, but whatever the case, wow, I'm talking about struggled, but it made me think about my life typically, the energy I have, just the verve and power and passion and conviction, and I'm gonna make this happen against all odds, like Tupac, all eyes on me. That's my life usually. Not because I'm so awesome, it's just because I work on myself and do these things that we're talking about. That this show actually talks about: the meditating and the running and the yoga, all those things. That's how it happens. The praising God, the being in the one love spirit, the being in the abundance consciousness, and it's work, no doubt. And it's work that I am happy to do because it works out. Hey, it also just gives me a chance to just recognize God, the spirit, whatever call God what you will, God, spirit, one love, Yahweh, Allah, Amen, whatever. That thing bigger than us, that primordial energy. What I am saying to you is that I just feel good about being able to praise that, being thanksgiving for that, being gratitude for that energy, which then creates completes the feedback loop of being grateful for God, spirit, being energized as a result, going out doing my work with a good attitude, and then the abundance that has flowed into my life makes me that much more grateful for the spirit, the one love, the Amen, all that stuff. And that's how the system keeps on rolling, right? As the great poet Drake said, "I'm a roller, not a stopwatch. Don't stop." It's a little joke there for Drake, although I like Drake, but he's not. So thanks for listening, guys. Boom goes the dynamite. Having fun today. It's Friday, last show of the morning, last morning show of the week. We'll see you this afternoon at 4:45 p.m. Probably from the road a little bit here. If I pull up to the side. So we'll see you. Thanks for being here. Until then, let's talk about it and be about it. Catch me on tour. Deuces.